A very warm good evening to all our viewers across the globe. Welcome to the Evening Review Show. I'm Matthias Ofiku, news editor of the Namibian Sun newspaper. Well, it's another exciting edition that we have in store for you. Of course, we have a very special guest in studio this evening. Long-term friends of Namibia, and of course, we are glad to have them in studio this evening. Tomorrow, Malaysia celebrates its 66th National Day. There were some activities that took place locally, arranged by the local High Commission, just in preparation of tomorrow's day. And for that, we have in studio the Acting High Commissioner of Malaysia to Namibia, Dr. Mohamad Rameez Yahaya. Welcome, sir, and it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Matthias. Yeah.
Thank you, and congratulations to the people of Malaysia. 60 years of independence. It's a long time.
Yep.
A lot has happened.
True.
I'm sure there's different views as to how the country is progressing. Can you just briefly take us through that, and also just what the day means for people back home?
Thank you, Matthias. First of all, I wish to say our thanks to the Namibian Sun for having us as a guest today. Back to your question. Malaysia, as you rightly said, is celebrating its 66th anniversary Independence Day tomorrow, 31st of August 1957. A lot of things have happened. We have progressed very well since 1957. We were back then, an agriculture nation. And then we developed ourselves to become a so-called manufacturing nation. And now we consider ourselves as a high-tech nation, which construe ourselves as a so-called middle-income developed nation. We wanting to achieve a high developed nation status, but there are many things more for us to do to progress well. And what it means, independence, is, as rightly you mentioned earlier, we had a local celebration just now at the office of the High Commissioner of Malaysia in Windhoek, whereby we celebrate the 66th anniversary, and where we invited many friends of Malaysia, comprised of the diplomats, comprised of the media, like yourself from the Namibian Sun, and also our MTCP recipients. As I mentioned in the speech that I had earlier, Malaysia is comprised of a multi-ethnic kind of society, where we have like 66% of the Malays, the predominant so-called group of race in Malaysia, and then we have the Chinese and the Indians, and also some Eurasian and some foreigners as well. And the issue is common among us in the world is issue of unity. And that's why our theme this year reflects that. Malaysia Mandani, Tekad Perpaduan. So meaning to say importance of unity among our society in order to avoid racial disintegration, in order to avoid issues pertaining to social disintegration. And that is our challenge.
Yeah. Okay. Of course, the Namibian mission was established in 1996. How has the journey been? Would you say those founding objectives and the decision to open a mission in Namibia specifically, has it been attained, and are we moving towards attaining them?
As you rightly said, your mission, your Namibian mission in Kuala Lumpur was established in 1995. Our mission here in Namibia, as you said, Namibian mission here, was established 1 year after. We reciprocate that kind of gesture, good gesture that Namibia gave to us. And our relationship with Namibia went way behind. Before that, in fact, before independence, we were involved also with the United Nations mission in order to ensure the peacekeeping operation pertaining to the road to independence. And the mission itself reflects that it's evolved, changes. We had few bilateral visits. We had your president, the founding father, went to Malaysia for few of the Langkawi International Dialogue session. And we also had our Prime Minister back then also coming to here for the South African International Dialogue. And that relationship, exchange of visits, is so of essence.
Yeah.
We believe it is important. And via that visit, it evolved into enhancing of bilateral relations and cooperation between both Namibia and Malaysia. And back to the issue, when we evolve it, we also evolve when it comes to trade and investment opportunities. As you are aware of, we had before we had a company called Ramatex Textile, and Ramatex was involved in manufacturing of textile in order for us to export to other countries, not just in Namibia, also to Africa and also to Europe and America. So unfortunate, they left because of issues pertaining to the tax haven structured and etc. etc. We hope that we can incite more investment and trade opportunities between Malaysia and Namibia. I hope that my tenure here, I will leave a good footprint of Malaysia in Namibia.
Yeah. Of course, I'm glad that you touched on Ramatex. If that's what many Namibians are more common when you speak of Malaysia. A lot of jobs were lost when Ramatex closed, and seeing Namibia today and the level of unemployment, it's one wonders why it was why we couldn't find common grounds for Ramatex to continue. Would you say there would be interest from companies or investors from Malaysia to come and set up shop in Namibia, considering what happened in the past?
That issue is a very interesting question. As I earlier mentioned just now, Ramatex left Namibia just because of the issue with regard to the tax haven. And I believe that with the National Investment Promotion Board of Development of Namibia, they are currently doing some kind of a structured regime for incentive for companies to come in, especially foreign companies, including Malaysia, of course. When I spoke to the CEO of NIPDB, that was like 3 weeks ago, we had some discussion. He was saying that most probably they will come up with a kind of tax regime or some sort of investment incentives, which will enable companies, foreign companies like Malaysia, to come inside to Namibia. And with that into picture, and with the issue of we having the AFCTFA, Namibia can be a doorway, a gateway. Although you have a population of 2.5 million, but you have a gateway for 1 billion of people in Africa. So that would be a peculiar issue where we can expose our products, our manufacturing things, and also create jobs for Namibian. There are what we call interests. In fact, our government of the day have a very important interest to come back to Africa, and that's good news. And I know that if you read from the news, many companies, foreign companies, are into oil and gas field, and you are also into the issue of green hydrogen to become regional hub. There's another issue where our oil company, Petronas, which is a Fortune 100 company, may probably explore the opportunities, especially when there's a niche market like green hydrogen. And you have also found oil and gas in the Orange Basin in Ludwig's. There's another thing for us to explore into, not just into manufacturing, also into the other sectors, which Namibia may become a regional hub player in time to come.
What I'm getting is, of course, you saying that just because of Ramatex, it shouldn't mean that's the end.
It is true.
There's still potential. What are some of the key areas? I know you mentioned now the issue of green hydrogen and the oil, but what are some of the key investment and economic and trade areas that you think we should venture in as two countries?
If we look at the volume of trade investment between Malaysia and Namibia, we find that the trade investment has been in an increase ever since the COVID-19 pandemic. And we see that the increase is like more than 800%. that indicates that there is inclination between both nations, Namibia and Malaysia, to do more investment, to do more trade between both countries. And the key areas that we see there are potentials most probably in agriculture, most probably in tourism. I think Namibia has a niche in tourism. We can have some kind of reciprocal agreement on that basis. Yeah. We also see the potential of oil and gas sector, as I mentioned earlier, and manufacturing sector, of course, where we can gain from the favorable nation clause that Namibia is now currently having. By having our products also by virtue of that, there are a lot of potentials between Malaysia and Namibia. And another one pertinent sector will be education. As you know, we established our private university, Lingkok Wing University in Komasdal in 2019, and they are exploring now to provide also tertiary education in postgraduate and graduate studies. There will be a potential for us to collaborate between Malaysia and Namibia.
Yeah. Talk to us a bit about the Malaysian Technical Cooperation Program. What is that all about, and what opportunities are there for Namibians to gain from that program?
The Malaysian Technical Cooperation Program is actually a program which was established much earlier in 1980, and since ever then, Malaysia has provided that more than 37,000, I think, recipients from all over the world, especially from Africa. It is a program where we connote the idea of South-South cooperation. For us, a country in the South, where we consider South countries consider those days as less developed nation. Yeah. And that's where we paraphrase the issue, prosper thy neighbor. So we are South, you are South, we help them. So by triggering their assistance together, by giving training, capacity development, facilitation economic, facilitation in social economic progress, then we will assist the country to trickle down its economy and give back in return. So we have been helping out with Namibians. I think more than 160 Namibian participants have gained in the MTCP program, and we hope more can be done. And by giving this kind of training, our training encompass issues pertaining to sectors pertaining to industrial, IT, technology, construction, water catchment issues, and then irrigation, which is pertaining to your country. You have livestock, you have irrigation, etc., etc., palm oil. These are the things that we venture into. At the same time, we are giving you the training like short-term courses. Sometimes it goes to postgraduate courses a year. Some of them also are short-term courses for 3 or 4 weeks, where we will provide facilitation for Namibians to come to Malaysia, be trained in that area specialty, and then when they come back, they can provide the so-called ideas, new ideas to what we call to Namibians, how to enhance, improve efficiency in the country. And we have also some from Namibian son, I think so, from NIB and also from NBC, went to Malaysia to learn about broadcasting, and they came back after 3 weeks and they helped out with the so-called TV channel, radio channel, of how to enhance the efficiency in that TV channel and broadcasting. And at the same time, they keep communicating with us through our High Commissioner office here, in order to tell us what has been happening, and in order to tell us what we can assist them with, in order to further make use of their knowledge, of their capacity training, which they gain from Malaysia via the Malaysian Technical Cooperation Program.
Okay. High Commissioner, we head for a short break quickly, and we'll be back to continue this conversation.
Thank you.
Well, to our viewers, we head for a short break. We'll be back to continue this conversation. Stay tuned.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Well, we're back from the short break. High Commissioner, of course, over the weekend, as Namibia commemorated its Heroes Day event, you met with the Fisheries Minister.
Yes.
On the margins of that event as well, to talk about your country's candidacy to the International Maritime Organization Council, basically lobbying for our support as a country for Malaysia. Can you just run us through that a bit?
Okay, the International Maritime Organization Council C deals with matters pertaining to navigation, etc., etc. And as you know, Malaysia is a country which is located within the so-called sea. We have the Straits of Malacca and we have the South China Sea, and a lot of ships travel through that area of navigation. And via that virtue of that, we wanted to be part and parcel of the IMO Council C in order to provide with the IMO with better regulation mechanism, and also to ensure the so-called candidacy of Malaysia for the 10th time. We have been with IMO Council for the 10th time, and we have our expertise in IMO can assist further in the implementation of the mechanism pertaining to the International Maritime Organization. And our kinder of support from Namibia and also some African countries is very vital essence, not just to promote our interest in navigation, and also to promote our interest in innovating the navigation, the shipment, the shipping lines, etc., etc. And we hope that our expertise from the experience that we had for the past 10 times being in IMO Council C can pour more development to the issue or regard to the IMO mechanism and instruments.
Just to localize it, of course, the fishing sector is one of the key enablers of our economy and one of the biggest contributors to our GDP. What has Malaysia's involvement been with Namibia as far as growing or helping to develop our fishing sector is concerned?
It is much related to the MTCP. I forgot to mention earlier that we also provide fishery kind of courses. There are many personnel officials from the fishery industry who went to Malaysia after they get recommendation from MIRCO, and where they were trained in fishery industry. I know that the fishery industry of Namibia is much more developed in comparison with Malaysia, and somehow or other.
But from the technological aspect, I'm sure Malaysia is ahead. In some sense, we have, of course, we need to sustain ourselves. We have population of 37 million, and although our size is like 1/3 of the size of Namibia, yet our people consume fish, and that sort of, and then we have a lot of courses relating to fishery, and also when people from fishery industry from Namibia comes to Malaysia, we exchange ideas. That's where, from people to people we exchange ideas. We can improve ourselves also in giving courses, not just to Namibia, also to other countries which expect us to develop our fishery industry. We are not that, unlike Namibia, I know you are very good when it comes to fishery industries. You have good coastline and everything. We also have, but we are very much not self-sufficient, etc. But we need expertise also from Namibia. That's where we can exchange and give and take between both countries. Okay. Let's change the subject matter a bit and talk global politics. Just for the last stretch of the interview, your view on BRICS, opportunity for those in the developing world, or something that should be ignored?
We, like in Malaysia, for example, we are part of an association called the ASEAN. In fact, we commemorate the ASEAN Day on the 8th of August. Malaysia gained its independence in 1957. ASEAN was created in 1967, 10 years later. And I find the building blocks of a regional organization like BRICS. It's a loose organization.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as commitment in terms of monetary, etc., etc. Unlike ASEAN, ASEAN was also evolved in that manner, whereby when the founding fathers of ASEAN, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Singapore, and Philippines, they joined together in 1967 via the Bangkok Declaration in order to create ASEAN. And you see how ASEAN evolved ever since then, 56 years. And it's evolved. The same thing when you apply the analogy to BRICS. I know BRICS consists of countries like, they are not like us, least developed countries. They're actually great powerful nation. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They are actually powerful countries. They were once considered as quite a regional bloc, quite a regional bloc. Yet issues pertaining to the world, what is happening in the international system, some countries feel that they try to sway away from some of the countries. But yet BRICS can be construed as a way for them to have a regional blocking, and they are accepting also other countries like United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Algeria, etc., to become part of them. And it is good. Yet, in terms of philosophy, it may be something which we have a nuances of to check and balance. It's the issue of check and balance. And if you look into the equation of what Kenneth Waltz, a good philosopher, international relations philosopher, in his book Man, State and War, he says that whatever is happening in international system will affect the state and the leader. So I would love that realist analogy, saying that in the international system will conceive what you will do. And that's why BRICS was created in the first place, in order to become a regional economic player. I do not know. Some people say BRICS is just BRICS. But for me, having this block of regional integration, it could assist the international system. It could assist in the sense of having a check and balance against other powerful nations, or etc., etc. That's a way of these countries to building a block. Look at this equation, Mr. Matthias. If we just depend on Namibia alone, of a population of 2.5 million as the last census, but if we look into equation of having 1.1 billion people, by having these regional blocks like having African Union, then you have more voices. Then you can do more. The same thing like ASEAN. If Malaysia was alone, having to speak to other countries, powerful nation in that area, I don't think they will listen. But by having 10 countries together as we are now, and one more country to come into picture in time to come, then we are more integrated, we are more united, and we can say more clearly our words, our way of what we want. That's why, again, as I mentioned earlier, unity is foremost important, not just in your own state, also by having these regional blocks, regional integration.
Just lastly, your view, Russia-Ukraine war, it's still going on. It looks like there's no end in sight. What must happen in this regard?
Okay, everybody knows what happened 2 years ago, and this Russian-Ukraine war is consistently having a kind of trickling effect towards our economy. And I know that much grains are needed in Africa. Our staple food is rice, of course. Luckily, we are affected very much, especially when it comes to the inflationary price of some of the products, the oil, etc., because of the war. War does happen. We have those days, the First World War, Second World War. We have small wars, and these are wars between Russia and Ukraine. I'm not going to say that what they do is right, but we know that as per the so-called United Nations Charter, which we, Malaysia, is one of the sovereign nations, members of the UN, Namibia also, we do say that that is considered as construed as something against the principle of the UN Charter.
Yeah.
But to accuse a country committing an aggression, we need a lot of things.
Yeah.
And we need to define what is act of aggression. And I wrote a book in this, actually, International Criminal Court and Crimes of Aggression.
Yeah.
I wrote about what happened in 1945, the International Military Tribunal of Far East, and also the International Military Tribunal of Nuremberg, and how aggression led towards suffering of human beings. The most important thing is in order to ensure the curtail of suffering of human beings. That's most important.
Yeah.
Aggression does happen. We are living in a world where powerful nations, we have more say than less powerful nation.
Yeah.
That is normal. There is no saying of whether you're a small state, you are equal. That is what we are, the believers, the ideal believers. But in reality, that does not happen. That's why, again, back to your issue, by having a regional blocks like BRICS or etc., we may have the feeling of peace, secure, and we can do more. One country can assist in security, another country can assist in economy, and that's where we can have more peaceful integration.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Dr. Rameez, thank you very much for your time this evening.
Thank you,
We really appreciate your insights, and we wish you and the people of Malaysia a happy Independence Day tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, to our viewers, that's it from the Evening Review team. Thank you for staying tuned and have a pleasant evening.